What's going on, content creators? Mark Harris Visuals here, and today we're going to be attacking this topic at a beginner level: slow motion inside Premiere Pro, specs you need in order to do it, and also how to do it inside of Post. But let's go ahead and deep dive into our specifications. So first and foremost, is your camera able to do slow motion at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second? That is something you have to look up and check out your camera specifications if it's able to do so. Okay, you get to a certain point where, yeah, okay, cool, my camera can do this. Next thing you need to know is, do I have a compatible SD card that will get me that smooth and buttery, flawless slow motion? So you don't have to be bougie like me and get a SanDisk. There's also other brands such as PNY and other Amazon brands that you can get for fairly cheap. But as you notice, that 10 that is circled right to the right side of my card, you have to have this, and that is the minimum requirement you have to have on your SD cards in order to film at 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. So if you have both of those things, then I think you're pretty much set up to do and record in slow motion that buttery, crispy, flawless, smooth video footage and edit it down inside of Post. But before we talk about all this stuff, cue the intro. So I have two clips here. I was filming my boy Mike inside of downtown Shreveport. And first thing you notice, once you slide a clip onto your timeline, hover over to sequence right here at the top, sequence settings, and look at your time base. So this is what is gonna mimic what you're recording your frames per second at. So I went all the way up to 120 frames per second. It says 119.88, but it's 120 frames per second. Anyway, this is how you check, okay, what did I record my footage in if you don't remember what you set your camera settings as, or you were playing around with them and you already recorded the video footage. This is how you check that. So bam, 120 frames per second, hit OK. So I created two little markers on here. So when you do that, simply you can just put it up here to one of your program monitors, your source monitor up here, and just click this little keyframe down here, and then it'll pop up on side of your timeline right there wherever your video footage is. Already pre-did that on what I wanted to slow down. So we're gonna take our audio away. Bam. So slow motion, how do you apply it to this clip? We're gonna go ahead and play this clip, and it is in regular speed. It hasn't been slowed down yet. So your clips are recorded in certain frames per second, and then you slow them down in post. You can do S&Q settings on your camera. I can make another video about that, where it already pre-applies slow motion while you're recording your video footage inside of your camera. But let's go ahead and play this. So it's a regular speed, and I think I want to end it like right there. So we're gonna chop that up, spread this out a little bit. So how do you apply slow motion to this clip? So you can do this in several different ways. Windows and Mac is pretty much the same way. So right click your clip, go to speed duration, and that is how you can adjust your speed. So you can go all the way down to something like 40, which is really crispy and really good if you film 120 frames per second. And if you film at 60 frames per second, you're gonna have to go a little bit higher, because then it'll start getting a little bit choppy. 120 frames per second. You can tend to go down a lot lower. 40 is good. Sometimes I go down to 30 depending on the clip, and it depends on how much I'm shaking my camera and not being stable as I should be. So let's actually go 35. So go 35, and what that's gonna do is put our footage clip at 35% slow motion. So we're gonna go back to the beginning, hit play, and as you can see, that is in some crispy, buttery slow motion. So let's go and undo that, and I'm gonna show you another way on how to apply slow motion to the single clip. So you can right click, go all the way down to show clip keyframes, go over to time remapping, speed. Now, once you get this clip and apply that effect to there, you'll notice that this little line goes straight across here. And then once you go up to that line with your cursor, there's a little up and down arrows on this clip. So with this, you can click it, drag it up, drag it down, and what it's gonna do is adjust the speed that way. So you might notice that hey, right clicking adjusting speed duration is probably an easier way, but this certain effect like this is an easier way to lead into something called speed ramping, which is a super dope effect. I use it in pretty much all my videos, which I'll make a different tutorial later on. The main purpose of this video is showing you how to do slow motion. So I'm gonna cover that in another video, but all you do is click the middle of your line through your clip and drag it on down. You can still go all the way down to 35. There we go. And it achieves the same effect as like we did when I right clicked it and clicked my speed duration. So nice and buttery, smooth, flawless slow motion. I have another clip here where I was filming my boy Mike, and it was pretty much downtown, like same scenario. Get rid of our audio, but you can do this by right click and hit unlink. It's already unlinked, so you don't have to do that. Or you can do Control L and it'll automatically unlink your audio and your video clips. Command L for our Mac users out there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get rid of our audio and let's hover over our video clip. Let's go ahead and play it. It is at regular speed, regular degular. But we want that smooth and buttery slow motion. We can probably end it right there. Cool. I'm just so used to doing it this way because I do speed ramping all the time. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Go all the way down to about 35 or so. Play. Bam. Smooth and buttery. Got a nice blink in slow motion. Man, y'all better recognize. But anyway, as you can see, super clean and highly effective effect that you can do inside of Premiere Pro and add to your video footage, and it's one of my staples. I use it in all my video edits, and it just holds a certain ground. It brings out a certain emotion, especially matched with some sound effects, some overlays, some music. Like, slow motion is one of those easy and dope effects that holds its ground and the whole 9 yards. But anyway, as always people, if you like the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If there's another video tutorial that you want me to do, comment down in the section down below. Hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM. We'll talk, we'll chat about me creating different videos that you want to see on this channel. And that's pretty much it. If you like the video, if it helped you out in a certain way or another, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. The support means so much. Hit subscribe, go ahead and ring the bell. But as always, I'll see y'all next tutorial. Peace.